Check. All right, we got Vikings Banter in the house. We are out here. We got Kat.
Are you recording on John?
What's that?
Are you recording?
Yeah,
on
I
John?
got him recording.
Okay. I don't know.
We got Kat, Luke, John in the house.
Green. Oh God. Hate him.
Brutal experience this last weekend. Brutal win.
Brutal win.
Yeah.
It's like I think you were kind of talking about like it's the worst feeling you've had in a win like forever, right?
Well, I'm just in a completely different place than 99% of people, where I'm actively rooting for us to lose, and then I see that, and it's like, look, if we had like a 30-0 win or 33, like something that was like, okay, you know what, I've been harsh. No, we beat the shitty ass Bears with a backup quarterback by 6 points. Like, oh my God, it was ugly.
And just scraping at it. The whole game, it just took forever.
Yeah. No, it was rough. I mean, this guy has
John
a completely
feels differently.
different look.
John, what are your feelings on the win?
No doubt it was a laughable performance, but we're just not bad enough to lose to the Bears. That's what it is. And so that's my argument
that's not the
taking.
argument
The
here.
Bears with a backup, a guy I've never even heard of who couldn't throw the ball.
But no one was denying
simply-
that we could win that game. Like, there was no one that was like, oh yeah, we can 100%. Well, we could have lost that game, but there was no doubt that we could win that game. We should have won it by a lot.
It was harder to lose that game than it was to win.
Exactly.
Well, did you see there's a statistic out there that we're the worst? We have the worst luck in the league right now.
Worst luck.
The worst luck.
How
in
would
the
you
league.
define luck?
Somehow they do it like with drop passes, with
Isn't that
all
just
these different
performance?
scores.
Fumbling. Yeah.
It's a lot of like the stuff that worked last year isn't working this year. Well, that's
Last
what they
year
were
we had the best
saying.
luck.
Yeah, last
Right.
year we were like undefeated in one possession games, and crazy shit was happening. Like the Buffalo fumble bullshit at the 1 yard line and
Right.
a 60-yard field goal, like stuff like that was
We
was
were the
going
most
for
lucky
us.
team.
Exactly. And then they were saying like it's got to even out eventually, and now this is like our karma for being good last year.
No, it's not
Yeah.
nice.
No, I think one of the talking points early on was like, okay, JJ's out. We get it. Our season, we could pretty much call it like folded up, but like, let's see if we have any like playmakers on the team. Addison needs to step up and make it happen. Kind of, I would love to hear from John and Luca, like where you're really at with what his performance looked like.
Just Addison?
Yeah.
Which you don't think he's a wide receiver one.
He's not a wide receiver one. You saw it. He didn't step up and take over, the count that JJ commands, but I didn't expect that. I know like he has limitations. He's not an athletic marvel. He's not super fast. Like he's just a pure route runner. And that's a great thing. You want that kind of receiver in the NFL, sure-handed, going to go over the middle, hit every route. I think he's going to develop. I don't think he'll become a Thielen. Thielen was a bit of a freak, but he can develop into a very good complementary receiver, which is also what you want, because you don't want some guy tearing up the field and then JJ's like, who the fuck? Like, all of you guys are excited. You're starting to buy someone else's jersey. Like, slow your roll. That's when you get the drama queen. I mean, look at Stephon Diggs. Couldn't handle Adam Thielen, it being Adam Thielen's team. Guy lasted 2 years with us and was like, I want out. It's like, bro,
You're like,
we
Adam
gave
Thielen.
you a shot.
Yeah.
So I think Addison is the perfect complementary. Hawkinson stepped up a bit, still not as good
He
as
still had
I
some
would
big drops,
expect
though.
him.
Big drops.
It kills me, man. I don't get it. But to focus on Addison, he had his touchdown, but he had 3 catches, 28 yards. Like that's not stepping up.
He would only be exciting if we drafted him between like the 3rd and 5th round.
Addison?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
that
you'd be
would
like,
much better.
okay, we have like something here. As a first round draft pick, this is pathetic.
Really? Because
Yes.
all of you guys were very high on Addison after we did the draft. You guys were all excited
Didn't
about
he wear
how
a pink suit to the draft? He's not playing like a
I'm
pink
not
suit
mad.
guy.
That's true.
No, you better fucking
you gotta be
ball
flashy.
out.
Like
if you wear a
he should
pink
just
suit.
wear like a typical gray Kirk Cousins, Thielen looking
But
suit.
I think every single person here said he was the best player at when we picked.
And we were wrong. I've picked him to win every game this year, and I've been wrong every time.
But also, it works. The offense works different when you're missing your playmaking, game-changing type player. You take that away, and now all of a sudden, Addison has to deal with top coverage or a double team occasionally.
But he
like
sucked
he didn't have to
before,
do that. He was looking
No.
good. It takes a while to get used to the speed of the NFL, the power, the strength of the NFL.
He's a
unless
USC
you're a
kid.
superstar.
He's not ready for big time football.
USC receivers are the best receivers. You go around the
I
league.
just wanted to.
They're so good. Quarterbacks haven't worked out very well,
Yeah.
but receivers have always worked out for USC.
I still have faith in him, but again, like
yeah.
with where we drafted him and what the way a receiver should easily be able to drop into this type of team.
Yeah.
Like
That's
Kirk's
true.
the best quarterback in the NFL, and it would seemingly be easy to have JJ over the top all the time. You can just grab underneath.
JJ does
underneath.
it. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, you look at the other wide receivers. Like this draft is looking very overrated already. Jackson Smith and Jigba hasn't done anything. Quentin Johnston, they lost Mike Williams, who you would expect to be the exact same type of player. And I haven't seen Quentin Johnston touch the field.
Are we
So
sure
these
that
are
the
other
Chargers
receivers.
are not the most unlucky team in the NFL?
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
It's Chargers and Vikings always are the
Yeah.
two snake-bitten franchises.
And we're going to
Sure.
get into that later with this lady that's gotten linked to the Vikings
How
franchise
interesting
now.
that she's.
Yes.
We got to kill her.
Well, it
This
doesn't.
is
It's
the
fishy.
bitch.
It's a fishy thing going on.
Oh, I
She's
did
a
some-
plant.
I found
Yes.
her
She's
LinkedIn
a
last
plant.
night. I got
Why?
deep on her.
Shut
I
up.
swear. Because we were arguing in my group chat if she was an industry plant or not. Because
She
that
for
was the
sure
rumor.
is.
That's what I said. I was like, it's
Yeah.
very weird that she happens to be caught, and then she's like readily available to be on the Pat McAfee show yesterday. ESPN's interviewing her. I'm like,
And she's like,
Don't you have
oh,
a
by
job?"
the way, I am a Vikings fan, too.
Yeah, and,
Like,
and the way that she was
convenient.
acting, she acts like a crazy
and they
person.
happen to just every time she's acting crazy, like get her on camera. Like
That's
these
true.
producers are top notch that they found this fan, and she's like unencumbered. There's no one around her. She's by herself.
That's
She's
true.
in a
Why is she
box
by
by
herself?
the field. Like get the fuck out of here.
Well, she's claimed that she was a Vikings fan, is from Minnesota.
yeah.
and-
Does that check out on her LinkedIn?
I actually didn't see where she's born, but
Yeah,
Where
we
did she go to high
we know that
school?
she grew up in Minnesota.
She
At
did.
least we know.
Okay.
I don't know
I
if she's
don't
born
know.
in Minnesota. But then she's like, "Well, I've been in LA for 20 years now, so I've become a Chargers fan."
No,
but
that's
she's
not
wearing a
what you
Thielen
do.
jersey
Yep.
with Skol on her
face paint.
forehead.
Yeah. And okay, so
And of all the franchises, you picked the Chargers.
where would an industry plant work, mind you? Maybe Warner Brothers? She works for Warner Brothers.
Oh.
That's where she works.
And the
What
NFL's
does she
doing
do?
all this with
It's some
Kelsey and Taylor
bullshit,
Swift
like a
and
doctor
her.
or something.
Like they're pulling off all the stops.
Yeah, they're really pulling a lot because the play on the field sucks. Everyone sucks.
So, you know that commercial, which I think is hilarious. They're like the table read for the NFL season.
Yes.
You've seen it? I think that's hilarious. But yeah, they're basically just proving that commercial. True.
And you can't transition fandoms and have that level of energy towards your team.
No, it's
No.
weird. It's weird.
You can't. That doesn't happen. You'd be
And-
like, "Oh, like I kind of fuck with the Chargers."
Also,
I live
nobody
in LA
cheers
now.
for the Chargers
You
like
would.
that.
Nobody's
Nobody.
a Chargers fan anyway.
No.
The Chargers don't have fans.
No.
John, how'd you feel about her?
Yeah,
She
I thought
passed
it
the
was
sniff
pretty crazy
test?
for sure. She looks like she was straight off Mad TV, like no doubt. It seemed like very scripted, having like the
Mrs.
curtain
Swan's
back there and
daughter.
everything, and they kept putting the camera on her. Yeah, see, listen, I don't know what the NFL is doing here, grabbing these straws here and like trying to make these little, like you guys mentioned, the Taylor Swift type distractions. But yeah, the play has sucked this year, definitely, no question about it. It's been really hard to watch. Pretty much all the games have been very like pedestrian and boring. I haven't
This
really
week looks
been
boring
excited.
too.
Bad.
I haven't been like more. It's just like all the games in general. They don't really seem that competitive. I haven't been this detached in the NFL in a while. It's like I'll have the game on in the background, but I'm not really watching.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys feel that way too. I think a lot of fans do.
I've
And
been
so I don't really know
contemplating
what that
like
is, whether it's become like the officiating
Mhm.
or whatnot, or if defenses are a little bit better. It seems like defenses are playing better in years past. Points are down. The under was like hitting almost every game last week. And so
Ooh,
you're
I
starting
took
to
one
see
on
that there's not a lot of these points like rah big plays, and I don't know what it is. I think
Last
the
year
NFL
was
might be in
exciting,
a little bit of a
too.
trough
Last year was
here.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, last year's ratings were through the fucking
Yeah.
moon. But yeah, I
he's a
mean,
great quarterback,
Yeah.
play
quarterback
all
play has been
around. A
bad.
Yeah.
bunch of like emerging franchises, which is really exciting to see. This year, all those
Mhm.
teams are stumbling around.
Yeah, no,
It's confusing.
It's sloppy as hell. I mean, to be
Definitely,
this
yeah.
this soon into the season and no undefeated temes and no winless teams is like, or no, sorry, the Panthers are still winless.
Yep.
But no undefeated teams. It's like, all right, what do we talk about? Like all the headlines were Eagles Niners, and like, can they stay undefeated by the, I think they play like week 12. Can they stay undefeated to that point? Week fucking 6 or week 6. They both go down in very ugly fashion, like to back up PJ Walker and who did the it was that, and who did the Eagles lose to? Why am I blanking?
They should have lost
The
to
Jets.
nobody.
The Jets.
Greatest team.
So Zach Wilson and PJ Walker took out the 2 top teams.
Okay, wait, just to put my hat on.
Is that a
What
conspiracy
hat?
hat?
Vikings
The
hat?
conspiracy hat.
No, conspiracy
Oh.
hat. She's got the
Conspiracy
tinfoil.
I've got the tinfoil on.
Where is the tinfoil? I'll put it on right now.
Right? Okay, because this also
live
comes
in
into
it.
play.
Yeah.
You live in it. So, is the Aaron Rodgers injury part of the industry plans? Because as we saw, he was on the field this week, throwing footballs, no crutches, like 6 weeks out. And so that was supposed to be the storyline that also then kind of fuck the Packers.
But he might
because
play again this year.
That's what I mean.
He
So
will.
that's
He will.
a great storyline. That's an industry plan.
He
It
wouldn't
doesn't
play
help
into that
them
bullshit.
to hurt him.
Why?
To hurt him?
Why not?
Because it takes so many eyes off the
No,
Jets.
but I'm saying, what if he wasn't actually hurt?
How does
The
that help
Jets
the
would be on
NFL?
such
I
a
don't know.
tear.
Take this
Nobody would
That's
be able to beat
that's a
them.
weird
this hat off.
conspiracy for sure, but yeah.
I honestly,
Throw it in there.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
been
yeah,
contemplating
let's save
at
the
the
hat.
end of the game. I was contemplating not watching the Vikings until they trade Kirk as a Kirk rider.
He was
Look at
ready for
you.
the Jets hat.
Because,
he was
oh,
gonna
you want
come
the
with
Jets
the
hat.
Jets
Kirk
hat.
is the best quarterback the Vikings have ever had.
Oh my god.
I mean, if you take away historic like Fran Tarkenton,
Doesn't count.
and then Randall had a short spurt.
He's the
and
best quarterback the
Dante
Vikings have
sucked,
ever had.
So it's honestly possible, and it's the saddest thing I think I've ever heard.
So that's why I was thinking not watching them, but I have a hard time doing that. I might do a hunger strike.
Until
they,
you trade.
Until
Yes.
they trade him, well,
So
at
we
least
trade
you only
him.
have
Oh, wait.
13
They
days.
came out and said they're not going to trade him though, so you can see
Well,
now that
I don't trust any
No,
of
no,
them.
oh,
We're,
yeah.
we're gonna
You
have
have to
first
say that.
through
You
the-
have to
through
say
the
that.
end of this year.
You
Period.
have to say
That's
that.
how it's going to be, unfortunately.
Okay, so October
Hate me
31st is the
or
trade
love me
deadline.
for sharing that news, but that's what's going
If
to
we
happen.
don't
They're
trade
not
him,
trading
this
Kirk.
is as bad as like the Herschel Walker stuff. Like our franchise is fucked for like 5 years if we don't trade him.
This
How
is
can-
where
bold-
you guys.
You
bold
can't get
statements,
anything. That's
bold
the
statement
problem.
there.
They're gonna give us like a 4th round pick for
But
him.
we're gonna lose Justin Jefferson over this whole thing too.
No, I think we can still keep Justin Jefferson. I mean,
No way, dude.
this is the
He's
problem.
gonna walk. You're not because he's not gonna come into some like. I would love to get
Well,
Caleb
that's what I've
Williams.
been
I
saying,
actually
yeah.
having Caleb Williams lost. Hopefully his draft stock starts to get a little messy.
Yeah, he could lose every game for the rest of the year. He won't move. Scouts love him. There were how many scouts at the USC game? Was it 13
Quite
or
a bit.
30?
Yeah, a lot of NFC ones,
Including
too. NFC
Kwesi?
North ones too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, they're all there.
Apparently, Poles was talking to Sam Hartman for a couple hours after. That's the news.
Yeah,
He,
well, that
he
makes
really
sense
liked the
because
Notre
he
Dame
sucks.
quarterback.
Yeah, no, I don't like that kid. I watched him in high school.
Could all be
Where did you go to high
smoke
school?
screens too,
I have no fucking
because
clue.
they're
he's like
still
on
TV.
enamored
Got
with
it.
Justin Fields.
Say it again.
They're still enamored with Justin.
There's
Fields.
no way.
Again, if you want to flip him at some point, because they're not gonna keep him and have to pay him, but they're gonna have to flip him. They're gonna have to find value for him. It's kind of like what Arizona's doing. All of a sudden, Kyler Murray is practicing today. It's like, why on earth would you bring Kyler Murray back out? Because you have to get something in
Yeah.
return for him. So if you want Justin Fields, if you're gonna have to trade him, you better keep him on the field and show other teams like, hey, look what
He
he
can
can
do
still do.
something.
We're not gonna keep him, but like you guys should come get him.
Yeah.
But Kirk, I think, one, he has the no trade clause.
Right.
So he immediately came out and was like, I'm not waiving my no trade clause. Like, why would he? He's getting paid.
Right.
His
Yeah.
family, he's not going to displace his family.
No.
But if
Where
we
would they
keep
find a new
losing,
Coles?
then he might talk to a certain team and go, okay, I would be open to such and such move. But he doesn't
But
need
this
to.
is close. Like, we're coming up on the deadline.
I know that's that's why I was
So-
so upset and fighting with John over that loss, because I really truly wanted to lose that. It was such a massive game. Like, now I don't know where we really stand as
Right.
far as tanking. I don't know if it's an option. I don't know if it's
No, it's not.
viable.
It's not. That's the thing. It's
2
not an
wins
option.
is tough.
We're
now.
not bad enough to tank.
No, I
And
know.
that's
Well,
the
why.
frustrating thing. That's where I go
Yeah.
head to head with you. It's like we're just a little bit too good of a team
Absolutely.
to tank. So you have to throw that out. And tanking for me is finishing with a top 10 pick We're just not bad enough for that.
We'll still get
a
a bottom 10
We have
pick.
2 weeks of a schedule going forward. Okay, let's talk about it quick. We have the Niners this week. I don't think we beat the Niners.
No, we
but
did
then
not.
again, I didn't think we'd beat the Chiefs. I didn't think we'd
We
beat
didn't.
the Chargers.
Yeah.
And we
Same
didn't
kind
beat
of
the
deal.
Chargers.
We played some good teams this year.
Or we
And
did
so
beat the
we
Chargers.
haven't really, and then we've beaten some very bad teams. So you can clearly see we're better than the bad teams. And we're not as good as the good teams, right?
So we're
Right.
middle of the road. So we're the
We're the
Dallas
most-
Cowboys.
We cannot
No,
tanking
For
please.
years
I
and
suck
years.
a
Pipe dream
dick
to be
to
a
be the
top 10
Cowboys.
pick is a pipe dream. So
No,
let's
you
stop
wouldn't.
that nonsense.
Right now?
Let's look forward and be positive with what we can and
No,
what
no,
we
no,
have.
no.
Because
Positivity
in my
gets us
mind,
nowhere.
we do have a chance to make the playoffs.
Who the
No.
fuck cares about the playoffs? What are we gonna? We're gonna sneak into
I
a
know.
9 and
but
8
what are we gonna
playoffs,
do?
and then
Well,
what?
I'm trying to get a top 10 pick that won't happen either, right? So it's like
We're the
In
most
what-
middle of the road team in the
In
NFL.
what world do we
Listen,
get to the
there's
playoffs?
a ton of mediocrity
We're only one
right
game
now
back
in the NFC.
in the wild card. in
let's
NFC.
fight for a playoff spot and see what happens. That's what I want.
But
I
so
know
we can
people
like
are kinda
suffer on
enamored
wild
with it.
card weekend.
We're just
First
gonna
or
get
loss,
pounded.
et cetera, et cetera. Let me roll the dice.
Oh my god, that'll be like your first weekend drinking again.
Is
You're-
it?
I mean, wild
You're gonna-
card weekend's
It's gonna
always
have to
in-
be if you're gonna watch that.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'll be back.
It'll be so
There we
dark.
go.
Do you want to take a bet right now?
Okay,
We
you
don't
and I-
make the fucking
You and I
playoffs.
just get
What's the bet? I
crazy.
love this. Actually, yes. Let's take this bet right now. October 18th. John thinks we're making the playoffs. Luke does not. What are the terms?
You got to wear a
We're in.
Packers jersey.
We're in. We've
For
got to win
how
6
long,
to
where,
7 in a
what?
row at some point.
You
What's
think
up?
we're gonna win 6 to 7 in a row at some point?
We've got to win like 6 of 8 or go on a weird run like that for that to happen.
Are you
And
back
I
on?
think it's very possible.
He's
due to
drinking
our
again.
Weak schedule. It's not because we're good. It's because the rest of the league sucks.
We
And
suck.
We have just a good enough O-line and just crazy enough defensive coordinator that we can kind of keep the ship upright for a little bit and pull off some of these wins. That's what I think happens. I just think there are too many bad teams right now.
We're
for
one
us
of
to
those
be
bad
worse than-
teams. We're not a good team. We
Yes.
rank 12th.
We're better than
our
we're
best.
better than the Bears. We're better than the Packers. We're
We
better than
we
the
might not be
Saints.
better than the Bears. We lost to a backup, a third string backup.
We might
Oh,
not be better
I'm sorry,
than
we
the Packers.
beat a third string backup by less
On the
than a
road,
touchdown.
That's done. We're better than the Bears. Okay. That's
We have
that.
I
no
think they
running
lost the
game,
second time.
and we
we're
have
better
no
than
wide
the
receivers that
Panthers.
can't
We're
catch
done.
footballs,
We have
and we
our
never
problems.
invested
We
in our
have our
defense this
faults.
draft.
Not
So
only
what are we
do we
talking
have
about?
not only do we have no running game, it's third worst in the NFL.
We're in free fall.
30th in rushing yards. We're 18th in points per game. We're 12th in total yards per game. Like that's we were supposed to do this, like get rid of the defense because our offense is our identity.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
bringing in a Rams guy who's gonna make us into the Rams. The Rams are fucking. They figure out, or not right now, but like the Rams of the Super Bowl team that we're trying to emulate. That team was special. They had special players. They had playmakers on defense. We don't have shit on defense. Ivan Pace, I'm obsessed with. I'm going to go into a whole thing on him later. But right now, other than Danielle, no one's doing shit on defense.
And then
Which
like
do we trade
long
Danielle?
term growing our team, like actually having somewhere to start from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Between paying Kirk and paying JJ, one's got to go.
Well, the
What's
defense
Kirk?
is gonna.
Keep
It's gonna have
both.
to be Danielle. Danielle's gonna
All
go.
right, now
So
let
does
me- let
Danielle
me
go
just jump
this
in
year
here.
in the next 13 days?
Look,
All right,
Of
Johnny
course.
Sweets, bring a little
Hello?
optimism to this.
What'd you do?
He froze himself. That's your take. Hot
He's
take
like,
by
"Let's
Johnny
freeze."
Sweets.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
His phone died.
He just. Oh yeah, his phone died first. Oh, he's back.
it didn't die. It went on the low battery bullshit. Anyways, so let me.
Plug it in.
So let me just start here. We don't have shit on defense. We do have stuff on defense.
We got Ivan
do.
Pace.
We have Harry the
Practice squad.
Hitman.
He doesn't
that's
do
been
anything.
killing it up lately.
No.
We have Jordan Hicks.
Jordan Hicks is
who
actually
Jordan
legit.
Hicks look nice.
NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
That's more
We have some-
situational.
We have some
He played a shit
improvements with Booth, Caleb Evans, and finally we saw something from Byron Murphy.
Murphy
right?
Jr. is kind
So
of
there
playing
is
well.
Listen,
Last week-
I'm trying to find the diamond
talking
in the
about
rough
against the
here.
Bears.
I'm trying to find something here to hang our hat on. But to say that we have nothing on defense in the cupboard is just simply not true. I think we are above average defense now. You look at what we did against the Bears. I know it's the Bears and we're playing Tyson Badgett.
You can't even
But
say
I
his
think
name.
we're definitely better than we were last year on defense. No question in my mind. It would be
Schematically.
criminal to say that we're worse. We're just not.
The
I think
Bears
we're
are
definitely-
undeniably the worst team in the league, and we barely beat them.
Panthers are, and we barely beat them.
And I get that, and we play down to our competition. So this will be a nice litmus test. and a
We don't
nice
play up
barometer.
to the good guys
But for
now.
Our
us to
two
just
wins are the
mercilessly
Panthers and
lash out at
Bears.
the team and to expect us to tank, I am against that. I do not see that happening. I don't want that to happen. I think it's ill-advised, and I think it's stupid. If we would have traded Kirk, then it would have shown our cards.
When we
hey,
trade
we're
Kirk.
trying to tank, but we're
We
not.
can't.
We can't.
He won't let us trade him.
He
That's the
will.
problem.
In the next 13 days, he's gonna let us.
You saw how happy he is there with his family. He's not going to move them. He takes Tuesdays off to spend
We're
time
not
with
trading
them.
Kirk.
Did that Twins game bother you guys?
Twins game.
Like when he
Of
went to the
course.
Twins game?
Of course.
No, I don't give a shit.
I didn't care either.
He does his job. It's not on
He
him.
got like
Everyone else
he
is
got
to
a ton
blame.
of shit
He's
for that.
having
It
like
was his day
literally
off.
Well, when you're
statistically maybe the
losing.
best
Yeah.
He's
quarterbacking
falling
season
apart.
that we've
The last-
ever seen.
The last
as in
two
Viking
games
history.
are not looking good. The first four were great. The last two were
It's
like...
not his fault though.
No,
They're
I know, I
dropping
agree.
passes.
And
they
we don't
get
have
have
Justin
momentum.
Jefferson.
He's
Okay,
hitting receivers
so-
And
in the
there's no
hands on
running
third
game
down.
to help him out. It's crazy.
I know, fucking KJ again.
No, okay, so yeah, you just talked about how great the defense is. We're 15th in the NFL in yards allowed, 17th in passing allowed, 18th in rushing allowed, and
Above
21st in
average.
points. No, none of that is average. That's all below average. 17th, 18th,
Listen,
21st is
listen.
below.
You throw away some of the outlier things that have happened this year. We had some busted coverages, et cetera, et cetera. But we did. You look at the last two games. I think we've definitely played better on defense,
We
even
played a
against
bad
the
team.
Chiefs. I was
John,
happy with that.
Why are you so
performance.
often? Do you have a
I
girl
thought
in
we
your
did-
life now, John? Like, are
Listen,
you like
bro,
struck with
I
love or
cannot-
something,
I'm
and
not
just like
gonna
having
sit
the
here-
greatest year of your
I'm
life?
not going to sit here and trash this team.
John,
We're a
you
million
should
teams.
Just because your
be-
life's going
Like I
great,
said,
don't
we're
like
nothing-
throw it off like the team's great.
I think he should be the motivational speaker in the locker room for the Vikings. Like, you guys got
I just think
this.
there's-
You're not
it's just
that
too long of a
bad.
Well, I
season.
don't want to hear another
It's too
fucking
long of a
cock speech.
campaign
Yeah.
to sit here and to just say tank, 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 tank.
You have 6
It's
weeks
just
of data.
ill-advised. It's
Just
just not.
prove that we're not
we are
good.
too good of a team. We have too good of offensive tackles. We have too good a quarterback.
That's
for
all
that
we
to happen.
have is an offensive line. What else are we good at?
We haven't seen this bad of a team in a long.
What else are we
time.
good at? Name one thing
Well, okay,
we're
what
good
else
at.
are we good at? We have an up-and-coming middle linebacker, Ivan Pace, that you wanted to talk about. We have a
Yeah,
Hall
but
of
he-
Fame
what?
safety.
But
Ivan
here's the
Pace.
thing. But
I
here's
wanted
the
to
thing.
Our
Talk about
corners are playing
yeah, I
better.
love him.
We have the best defensive end in the league right now. I think DJ Wanham arguably
But none of it
playing
equals
instead of
good.
Davenport
You're just
is
talking about
actually
players.
better for us.
You're just talking about players, though. I'm saying, like, what is our identity? Like, on defense, we're bad. Like, we're below average at everything. Even if we have one good
I'll say
player,
trending
we're not
upwards.
doing
Can
anything
I say that
with
on
it.
defense?
Okay, well, also, what matters in the NFL is turnover, holding the ball, protecting the ball. We're 30th in turnover differential at -7. We're 1 turnover away from being dead last. Like, you have to make plays. This team, you talk about all these individual players, they're not playing good team ball and
We're
winning.
starting to see that. We had a scoop and score for a touchdown. It was a defensive touchdown, was it not?
Thank
That,
God.
to me, is a
Otherwise, we had
play.
10 points.
We had Byron Murphy
9.
stepped up and made a play. We got some guys. Let's go.
No, 12. We had 19.
Whoa.
We had 19 points, and one of the touchdowns was on defense. Like, it's against your Bears that you just shit on.
No question we have faults, but we came over with the dub. Onward home.
Yeah, I was so upset
I think
about
every
that,
win
though.
just ruins our ability to have a good team in the future, though.
Exactly. Well, that's my whole point.
That's
Like,
the
I
whole
would,
thing.
Disagree.
you take it as me being
Disagree with
negative.
We
Yeah.
have no building
I'm
blocks.
looking-
John,
That's the
how
problem.
can we build
Future.
that? In your opinion, John, how can we build? If you think that we like want to try to,
We've got
I'm not
Ivan
even gonna
Pace.
say win out, but,
but
like,
do-
what do we build that on?
Do you think we get rid of Danielle? I do.
Before the trade line?
Absolutely, yeah. He'll be gone next week. We're gonna lose
That's a
this
tough
game,
one.
and they're gonna
Okay,
trade
so
him.
What can we
if
get for
beat
him?
the
Second
Niners
round
this
pick?
week? What
No.
if we beat?
They said already today.
There's a lot of you guys. There's a lot of wait and see.
So you can
with
get, like, a
this. If we
fifth
beat
round,
the Niners
like-
this week, all bets are off. It starts to get a frustrating thing where you're like, wow. we're
You really
kind of
think we're beating
teetering
the
in
Niners?
edge of NFC prominence.
Hold on,
What's
before
up?
we get to
Yeah,
the
before we
Niners,
get there.
that'll be a whole preview. The projected trade today, the rumored trade, was to the Jaguars for a 4th, a 3rd, and a 4th. So 2 4ths and a 3rd.
Love that.
That's not
building
bad.
blocks.
So it would be 1 4th this year, and then the next year a 3rd and a 4th.
Remember? On
But it's
Thursday
not
Night
like
Football,
we're
I
getting
said
some,
rid of
some
Danielle?
stud picks.
What's
like
that?
we got to really value
he was
these.
my fuck, marry, kill, get out.
Yeah.
I killed Danielle.
But he's played great. He's like
Yeah, I know,
one
but
of
I
our
just
only
didn't
like
feel
shining
like
things.
he
He's
had to
tied
go.
for first in the NFL for sacks.
What? So if we traded Kirk, let's hypothetically, what would we get for him?
Nothing. Nobody's giving anything. He's on the last year.
You
of his
wouldn't get like a
contract.
second round pick?
No, you're getting.
No.
It's a rental player.
That's
who's
why you
35.
keep them. That's why you hold them. You're not getting anything valuable. Like,
But you
I
get.
think
I mean, you get a fifth.
to me,
or
you
fourth,
focus
maybe.
on this campaign and see what we do this year. See how O'Connell performs. Get another playoff game in. If we lose, we lose. That's fine. But like,
we're gonna
at the
lose.
end of the day, what can you really do? It's a long season. There's a big campaign. You have to take the wins have to try to play as much winning football as we can.
I just disagree. There's quarterbacks there.
And
If you
that's
don't have a
fine.
quarterback in the
That's fine,
NFL,
but-
you don't have anything.
I just think that it's crazy to think that we're going to get a top 10 pick. It's just not
If we get
happening.
rid of Kirk, we
So
do.
with that being said, let's not mail it in. Let's circle the wagons and push.
Okay, so Luke, you want a tank.
Absolutely.
But what are you looking for to see in the team each week to be like, okay, I'm watching these games,
I mean,
and B, like things that will make you hopeful for next season?
Yeah. I mean, I want to see playmakers. I want to keep seeing Byron Murphy do stuff. Again, I love Ivan Pace. I'll talk about him now. He's just right now he's 21st overall on every defensive player. He's 21st in the league in pass rush grade. That is elite. He's 4th in linebackers in the entire NFL. So he's already, as an undrafted free agent, one of the best linebackers in the NFL. Like, there's your building
remind me what
for
we're good at.
nothing. There's one player who doesn't equate into wins or turnovers.
Okay, then we got Danielle also as
who
well.
we're gonna trade.
If you look at the most valuable positions on defense, it's
Yeah,
going to be
linebacker.
defensive end. Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
And how's our defense?
We're improving. We're trending upwards.
We're a middle to bottom defense.
We already said this to start the year. Go back and look at our previous podcasts.
Oh,
The
I know
Vikings are
them.
going to
I'm there.
start the year slow on defense, and we're going to continue to improve and be one of the elite units towards the end.
Elite.
I
Who
said
the
that.
fuck
You
said
look
that?
on tape. Listen to me. We're going to start slow, and that's
John, you gotta
exactly
find the
what
clip.
happened.
Elite.
Brian Flores is not going to come shooting out of the cannons like number one. It takes a little bit of time for the scheme to kind of be to land on the players.
We don't have any ball hawks on our team,
Not one.
and it just there's no elite because we can't cover the edges. Like, yeah, we get at the quarterback a little
Ivan
bit.
Pace
We
is
don't have
elite.
playmakers.
Danielle Hunter is elite. Jordan Hicks just won NFC
He's not
Defensive
elite.
Player of the
Do
Week.
not call him elite.
Andrew Booth is getting crazy raves in practice. Excited about him
Well, we
going
can't
forward.
get any. We
Caleb
can't get any
Evans
turnovers.
has some Antoine Winfield in him.
Ugh.
Plays like a dog. Harrison Smith
So lucky you're not here.
having a resurgent year.
No.
Am I
He
wrong?
had
Let's-
one good game. Other than that, he's nowhere near the top 20 safeties right now. He's been beaten a lot. He had one good game. And we've played bad teams. We've played good teams, and we've played the two worst teams in the NFL. So those are the two wins. The two worst.
Well, okay, so put in this way, it's going to be a barometer for us. We have a primetime game, Monday Night Football. We have
Kirk's
Kirk.
favorite.
Primetime Kirk is going to be playing. Let's see how he does, whether or not he steps up or not.
We know
But
how he
this is
does.
definitely
Yeah.
a big game for us. If we win this game, talk about Danielle has all of a sudden quieted down. Am I right?
Yes.
No, I think we traded him immediately because the writing is on the wall. Everyone knows Danielle's got to go. If we're going to pay anybody next year, it's got to be with Danielle's
And
money.
if you can get him, he's an aging guy, right?
Yeah.
Like
Guys
it's
get
it's
old.
okay to get him out. If you can get any
know,
value
get him
right
out.
now, make it happen.
It's
Because at the
it's
start of the
only
season,
time.
I was thinking like a good season for him would be like 12 and a half sacks, and you're all like, that would be shit. And I'm like, I just want him to play okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he's played great.
He's already at 8.
You're right.
Yeah, he's on his way.
I want him
easy,
to come
unless
back,
he gets, God
to be
forbid,
honest.
hurt.
And I don't know what that's going to cost us. Or
But he's
whatever,
not
but
even a
I'd like
leader.
to see
That's
him
the
back
thing
on a
too.
team.
It's
He's
like
not.
there's
He's
nothing
too
about the
quiet.
identity of our defense of
Yeah.
anybody that you're like, ooh, this guy. Maybe Jordan Hicks potentially is like slowly like developing
Ivan
into that
is
role.
getting that. Ivan
Okay.
Bowden, they gave him the green dot. He's the one that talks to
Oh,
the
they
team.
did. Okay, well
Yeah,
there you go. So he's the guy.
Yeah, I mean he's
Which is
going to step
insane.
into that role. It's unbelievable. It's truly like an insane story that an undrafted free agent
He
becomes
just won't
the
be able to
leader of
hold
your
that
defense.
torch until next year or like the year after.
Right.
Yeah,
where
no,
he's
I
really
would still imagine it's
defining
Harrison's.
that. Yeah.
It's Harrison's
Right.
defense. People see him coming out of the locker room and they're like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
Like that's Hitman.
Yeah.
So it sucks. So all of our guys are like so quiet. Our
Yeah.
defensive guys
Uh-huh.
are so
It's not
quiet.
very
You know,
rah-rah,
there's no like
yeah.
John Randall giving you any energy.
I mean, at least Everson was really like the pulse before all
Before
the
he
things
lost his
that,
mind,
yeah,
yeah.
that he was really
Exactly,
like the
yeah.
pulse of that
Loved
whole
him.
defense, and
Oh.
he like rallied everyone together.
Yeah, we had Kevin and Pat before that. Like, there's
Mhm.
always we always have those guys. Right now, the team is suffering an identity crisis where it's like, you know, I'm not really sure who's in charge. I feel like Dalvin was a big voice at
Do you?
times.
He gets
Yeah,
swag.
I feel like he was like pretty quiet.
But they all respected him. They just like they
Sure.
saw greatness at moments, and they're like, "This guy's
He
dope."
how
sucked
can
this year.
but then how
Kirk-
He's
Kirk
not
is
even
our
playing.
leader.
It's
Kirk is our
unreal.
leader.
but how can like Justin Jefferson step up?
Justin, I feel like is a fun rah-rah. They get to dance with him and stuff, you know.
But he's not like that,
But he's
like,
not there right now. so.
He's there. He's been. He traveled with the team.
No,
That
of
was
course he
encouraging to
travels.
see.
I'm saying
I
like you're
didn't
not
want to
on
see
the
him
field.
checked out. I didn't want to see him a veteran that just disappears. So that was kind of cool.
It's
to
pretty
see
hard to have
that he
a
was
wide
clapping and-
receiver be like your leader because they're kind of supposed to be like
They're all
the
about
fun,
themselves.
overplayed clown, the sexiness of the team. It like Chris Carter was a leader
Yeah.
as a wide receiver. There's a certain level of a demeanor
It's a
that you
role
need to
model
have.
thing. If
Yes.
you either go the role model route, the Larry Fitzgerald, where it's like do as I do, or you go
Like
the
Jerry
I'm
Rice
the
kind
fun
of guys
guy.
where it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
the hard
He's
ass
hosting
worker.
workouts
Yes.
and like run up this hill. No one's beating me up that hill, and like that shit is stuff of legend where everybody would come check that out. But no, I mean Justin will grow into that.
Guys, I gotta wrap
hopefully.
this up here. I gotta let you go. Hello.
Well, you wrap this up just like our season's wrapped.
He's
Um,
already on
Don't
the
say
phone.
that.
Hey,
Don't
I
say-
actually
I'm
have-
sorry,
I-
you-
Hey, John,
are
I
you
have
gonna
something
watch
that you're
next
gonna-
week or no?
John,
Are
can I
gonna
just tell
watch
you
or
something
no?
before you leave? This is right up your alley. I learned something from one of Diggs's best
Oh
friends
my god, this
in
is
college.
actually hilarious.
Diggs apparently, everyone knows he's a
No,
dog,
okay.
right?
Yeah,
Goes
but-
wild.
He's gonna go ridiculous
which
here.
sister did he bang?
No, dude.
No.
I guess like the reason it's really tough to fuck girls after Diggs fucks him
Oh,
is
he's
he
got-
likes to get
got
his
herpes?
ass eaten
Oh, nice.
and he likes getting dildoed.
I believe it.
That wasn't confirmed. That second part wasn't
His
confirmed.
best friend said that's like
no,
one of
he
his
did not
things.
say that wasn't confirmed.
He's
He
getting
just said
pegged.
he likes some wild shit.
I believe it.
And that's why
Me too.
like the guys are like, if my sister ever touched that, that
Yeah,
would suck
that
because
was
you
the best
know
video.
that your
that was
sister
the best.
dildoed
every single one of them.
Diggs, which is fine. That's cool and everything. I get it. He parties. He's Hollywood, but like,
Imagine being Hollywood and Buffalo.
I just
though.
knew that was right up your alley, John. So I just wanted to tell you about that.
Are you a
See,
pegger?
yeah, I don't know why you're.
It's just kind of it's the way that John parties. Yeah.
Damn, John Peg Leg Sweets.
Oh my
What
god.
the hell?
That's why you had to get out to the
Creating
Rocky
stuff that
Mountains.
isn't
Yeah.
true.
You got any Spectrum before
Yeah,
you go?
sorry.
Do you have to leave?
Yeah, mhm.
What's your stat to leave to give the fans some awe going into
Spectrum
the
us.
year? They're going into the next week.
Oh God. Oh, let's see. We're +7
Yep.
at home.
Okay.
So you're basically handing the Niners 10 points because you're in. I should say 4, right? Because it's you get advantage of 3 at home, but it's like I don't think we cover. I think we get lambasted. I think Luke's going to be frustrated again. I think we're going to lose
You should
by
be
10
frustrated.
or more. But that's just how it is. 'Cause we're just
They're a
not
very good
good
team.
enough to beat elite teams, but
Yeah.
we're just not bad enough to
I
lose
agree.
to shitty teams. So that's what it is. We're stuck in this sort of purgatory. We're going to get blown out. It's going to be a rough go at it, and that's what's going to happen. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I'm not denying that we're not bad enough to tank. That's why I wanted Kirk gone, because without Kirk, I said from the beginning, JJ and Kirk are still elite, like but easily. That 1-2 combo is one of the
Unreal.
deadliest, if not the deadliest in the NFL. But then JJ went down, and it's like, okay, fuck it, get rid of Kirk, and then we're actually bad enough to tank.
And what sucks about where we're at is because we are gonna lose Kirk next year.
Exactly.
I have a hard time believing JJ. We have a sexy enough
That's
team
what
for him to
scares
stay.
me.
Too.
It's like you've got to then.
so we have
keep
nothing,
him.
and then another guy.
Because I don't know why we didn't fucking sign him this offseason. The whole talk was we got to sign JJ.
We're not going to be able to bring anybody in next offseason because
No.
everyone's
And if we
going to
lose
just
JJ,
be
it's
like,
over.
fuck it. Like, there's nothing there. There's no identity. I don't
No.
want to do it.
You got to rebuild in the draft, and we've all experienced that, and that is not fun trying to find that.
We're going back into turmoil years, dude.
Oh, those are bad
That
years
sucks.
when you start picking up random quarterbacks, and you're like, oh, but the second rounder we got, it looks
Yes.
cool, and then he never plays, and you're like, fuck. Yeah,
Yeah.
we do that for years.
That's your life now, John. That's your next 5
Yeah.
years.
Well, the problem, so then
I disagree. I just think it's such a overplayed thing. We got to tank for a higher pick. It's like we're talking about 5 to 6 picks here. You know what I mean? It's
If
not
we
that
don't
It's like
tank,
we're
you're
gonna
gonna
be
get married and have a
15
kid before next
through
winning
20
season if we don't
pick.
tank this year.
What's up?
You're gonna have a
Huh?
you're gonna be married and have a kid before we have a winning season this year if we don't tank.
I don't know about the marrying and kid and stuff like that, but
I'm just saying,
you,
we're
bro,
years out.
Yeah.
Free
I'll
fall.
leave you with the having kids. You know, like,
No, so yeah, like we played the game the other day when we were arguing back and forth about if we don't get Caleb, if we don't get Drake May, what do you want to do? Like if we make, let's say we run the table and we have this miracle run and they make a
it
fucking
doesn't. There's
Disney
so many other
movie about
options,
us.
but then Caleb, then Drake May. There's Michael Penix. There's other guys. Even
yeah, but those guys are
even dudes
wishy-washy.
like if you like Spencer Rattler too, he's got the raw.
hate.
I know
Spencer
you. I know
Rattler.
you don't like him. I know, but
Nobody
I'm saying,
likes
it's like,
him.
There are other options out there.
Oklahoma
There's that
didn't
Bo
like
Nix
him.
guy. I know he's a little older.
Oh, he's so
right?
bad.
You know.
John
can't
literally
throw.
does think they're gonna make like a
I
Moneyball
don't
movie
think
about
you need to
Quessy
have.
come
I
this
don't think you need to
offseason.
have one of those guys. You even said it. Build the roster the other way. And I think
No. You either have
getting
the
a
complete
quarterback on a
roster,
rookie deal is really nice.
or
You
you
have
get
that
a top
nice
5
window that
quarterback.
you can
It's one or
win.
the other.
Right?
I think we have a better shot
Yeah,
at
these
hitting
guys are
on
gonna-
one quarterback than hitting on 25 other players. You know, like if you want, you can do it the Niners route. Like we're going to see it this weekend. The Niners have the best roster in the NFL, and they landed on a quarterback with the dead last pick in the 7th round, Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy. Like going that route, you can't even plan. Like you've got to land on fucking safeties and linemen and every position that people overlook. You've got to hit, and they just hit on everything. That team is so well set up. I don't even know how they do it with the money.
Well, that's why, because we're completely upside down.
Yeah.
Like the Vikings are bankrupt as a squad because we're top heavy with already having to pay wide receiver quarterback with no depth in anything else.
Yeah.
So that's why for the first time in a long time, I felt like we're in full free fall mode.
Yeah, it's scary.
Because momentum matters, and if we don't have momentum with who we have now, there's nothing here.
Especially if we get rid of Danielle and his contract, and then Kirk walks next year in his contract, now you have a lot of money to pay JJ, so a lot of it goes away immediately, but they always find a way to, like, here's $1 million.
Yeah.
So we're going to have cap space next
That's
year.
what I'm saying. We're going to always find a way. We're going to always wiggle with Rob Brzezinski.
But the problem is there's no quarterback.
That's what it's going to be like.
Right, we're
for
going
the
to get
next
Justin
2 to
Fields
3
and
years
shit like
set.
that.
Yeah.
And then, or
true.
Kyler
Wiggling
Murray, and like
wiggling.
it's going to be like
That's
that.
what it is.
If we have Kyler Murray, I'm gonna be so mad.
I'd be thrilled with Kyler Murray, but John and I are leading this thing that nobody else on the planet is even discussing. But yeah, Kyler Murray would be an excellent backup plan to drafting one of the 2 top quarterbacks. But I don't want to
100%.
rely on the others.
I'm down. I like it. He's finally practicing now. It's exciting.
Well, of course, they need to get something back for their commodity. They can't just let him leave. But also, I don't know if he gets on the field. I think this is just to show everyone, like, oh no, he's healthy, come get him. But their whole plan is to tank, and putting Kyler on the field does not help them tank.
We need like Zach Wilson to
I don't
play
know if he's
so
gonna be
well.
I don't know what they're moving
Rodgers
with
not
that.
to come
I
back,
know
and they have to move on with him.
That was never happening. They love Rodgers.
coming into
He's
the
coming
year,
in.
I thought they would be the worst team in the league.
Arizona?
Yeah.
Well, they're very
and now
close
there's like
too.
there could be
They're
5
playing-
or 6
they're
other
like-
teams that could be the worst in the league.
Yeah.
Well, Carolina's the worst, but they have their pick, so they don't care.
Right.
No, I'm sorry, Chicago. Chicago has their pick. Yeah. They have Houston's pick, so they have 2 top 10 picks as well. It's a fucking tricky league, man. But
I just don't understand the move with practicing Kyler Murray. It's a real odd one, but
I think they just have to show that he's healthy. That's my personal take on it. But
So he gets traded in 13 days within this.
no. They have to hold on to him because they're worried if they don't get Caleb, might have to run Kyler back out there because then if you whiff on tanking, you've got to have a plan set up. So,
but now with Caleb, which is interesting, did you see that it came out that he wants percentage of the team that he goes to?
because he's so big now, it's like the Magic
it won't
Johnson.
happen. It won't happen.
No, of
Aaron
course
Rodgers
not. They'll
wanted
never
that
do
shit
it.
too with the Jets.
Right. So a new
The
guy
owners
thinking
aren't
that you can
gonna
do
do-
something
I
like that.
mean, you're
He's got handlers. He's making so much money in college.
But that kind of scares me. That means that it's getting to his head a little bit.
It's definitely getting to his head. He's a business, and there's a lot of people. He's in LA, and every fucking agent is trying to get at his money and nip at his heels. Like,
So is he going to be like, hey, Nike, I want like a percentage of your company too? Like, what are we talking
Maybe.
about?
I have no idea. He could ask for a LeBron
I mean,
deal.
first of all, I'm never mad at like someone trying to get a piece of the pie and like an investment side. Like, you gotta fucking ask. Like, I'm not mad at these kids that are like trying to go in and be smart with their money. Where like as we've seen,
yeah, but if Aaron Rodgers isn't getting the cut first,
true, I agree.
But you've got to get it early before if you've got this hype train. I mean, look at the scouts talking about him like he's, Peyton Manning. He's better than Andrew Luck, higher than would have taken him over Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, like all these quarterbacks who are now already doing things. They're like, we would still take him over every single one of them.
That sounds like your next Netflix documentary, The Guy That Never Was.
Yeah,
I mean, it's possible.
I agree.
If it doesn't work out. Like, the pressure on him is LeBron-esque, where it's, if this doesn't work out, like, you are expected to win multiple Super Bowls. This isn't come in and win one MVP, oh, great career. No. You have to win multiple to live up to the hype that he's giving himself and everyone else is. I mean, you're in LA. You're the savior of, the
See,
Trojans.
that's what worries me about him. I just feel like it's like an LA.
But it was an Oklahoma thing. That's how it started. And then overnight, they changed the Trojans program. But, I mean, look, the kid is phenomenal. But even if it's not him and it's Drake May, like, you need those top quarterbacks to change your face of your
and we
franchise.
don't know if he's going to come out yet still.
Well, he said, so the beauty of this whole thing is if we're low enough, I was reading an article that was saying if we're low enough, like third worst pick, fourth worst pick, and he says, I'm not going to the fucking Cardinals, and the Cardinals are sitting there like, what do we do?
So he's going to some Eli Manning shit?
Exactly. This has been done before.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm not going to you. You can deal me to one of these teams that I like.
Yeah.
And he picked us, the Raiders, the Giants, and then the Cowboys and Niners, who are too good. They'll never be able to
Would
get
you
him.
give Caleb Williams equity of the Vikings if you were the Wolves?
I mean, if that was what he was up against, I think you have to evolve to do what I would do whatever you can do with where we're at, because like that would then keep Justin Jefferson around. So but
the other owners would never. They would tell him straight up,
right?
Don't. You're not fucking doing
don't
this.
do this.
You can give him some stock advice on the side.
Yeah.
I'm sure all these guys, like a lot of players in the NBA, were going to play for Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
And it was like, why?
Convenient.
Because Cuban's putting you in deals.
Yeah,
and
you
stuff.
would also lose the locker room really quick as a player.
Oh my God, 100%.
If you were the newest
fucking
guy
owner.
in that now has equity, I get it that some of the guys would be like, thanks for doing it for us. You started a new thing.
Yeah.
So you're doing it for the guys that are coming after you.
Yeah.
I get that whole thing. But
yeah, they might see him as beating the man. Like, they could rally around that, I don't know his personality as a human. So if he's doing all this and Johnny Manziel dickhead, it doesn't work.
No.
If you're doing all this and then you're a cool guy and you're like
Kirk
rah-rah in the
Cousins,
locker room, which I've heard he's very humble. Like, he came in as the backup at Oklahoma to Spencer Rattler, who was the #1 high school quarterback in the country at the time.
There's no personality pieces on him at all yet?
Personality, there's little ones, but it's like, it's mostly good. It's a lot of rumors and like hearsay through
LJ,
family.
what do you think about him painting his nails? I think you're gonna comment on that.
I love that.
What are your thoughts on that?
This is Hollywood, dude. That's how it works, dude.
Yeah.
Guys are getting manis and petties out here. Diggs is getting pegged, dude. It's a different world. Get used to this new world.
I love that.
Not all of us can just go hide in the woods up in Colorado, just dink around. Like, we're out here in the real world.
Let's see your nails. I think you get them
That's
done.
what you're thinking? Yeah.
Yeah, just a mountain man out there. Like, we're with
I wish
people.
he saw his beard last year.
But what is he painting? Does he do like emo painting nails, or how does he do it?
I think they're just black or white.
It's just like every week he has a motivational little thing on his fingers that he'll put about the team that he's playing.
Bible quotes,
yeah, it's called
like
Tim Tebow. I love that shit.
Come on, roll
John
Toms,
3:16.
bro.
You know what? To me, I looked at Drake May. I saw him play UNC last. UNC looked good last week. Drake May is extremely impressive.
Yeah,
I love his pocket awareness. I love how he progresses in the. It's amazing to see. Yeah. Drake May would not be the worst thing in the world if we were to draft him. So I think everyone's just like Caleb Williams. Or we fail.
I would rather have Shadir.
No. I think there are too many question marks with that. When you have a guy that's that highly touted, I understand he's an undeniable talent, but hey, you know what? I'm fine with Drake May.
Everyone is
rolling the dice with him. Absolutely, 100%. You
two.
Can't deny he's talented. He would be the #1 overall pick in any given year, but now people are just so high on the hog for Caleb Williams that it's just become this like sort of like weird clouded effect that he's. I understand he's probably better than Drake May, but the hype has created this vast difference. I don't know if there really is that big of a difference between them.
It's not just hype.
the media,
it's the scouts.
There's a lot of hot air behind Caleb Williams, is what I'm trying to say here. I don't think he's as good as he is, and I don't think, you know what I mean? I don't think, I think there's somewhere in between. There's definitely a lot of hot air with him.
God, if he goes to Vegas,
thought.
his life's going to get ruined.
Oh yeah, that'll be a
No,
mess.
because he's already been in the spotlight. He goes to USC. He'll be fine.
He's a college kid. He doesn't know about
Everything
spotlight
is,
yet.
Everything is sensationalized.
No,
in our TikTok
those
generation.
kids know. Those kids know.
Look, of course, because he makes the Pat Mahomes-like plays. He's not, if the most recent great quarterback was Dan Marino, Drake May looks way more like that. But the most recent great quarterback is Pat Mahomes, and that's what Caleb Williams looks like. He's doing those sidearm falling over
And
plays,
I always think that's really bad when it's the new
it's
hot
scary.
thing now that they're trying to find the next exactly like that dude.
Yeah.
That gets a
It's
little
like trying to find the next Steph Curry. And
He's so
everyone's
much
like,
fun to
oh,
watch,
this guy's
though. I
Steph
get it.
Curry. It's like, no.
No,
Pat
remember-
Mahomes
yeah.
is special. Steph Curry is special. Find something similar.
But let's talk. Neither of those guys were number 1 overall. Neither of them had the hype coming out that this Caleb Williams character does. And that's what I'm trying to get at here. It's you don't find these Mahomes, Brady type characters number 1 overall. They don't normally pan out. Look at Cam Newton, number 1 overall. Did he win a Super Bowl? No.
He won
Did he have
15-1
the
and
career
went
that
to a
everyone
Super
thought
Bowl
he
and won
Cam
an
was
MVP.
sick,
He had an
dude.
Cam
insane
was
amount of
amazing.
rushing touchdowns. And that's basically it. He had definitely had some bright moments in the NFL.
I'll take that.
His
Get me to a
career's
Super
done,
Bowl.
Overhyped. Same kind of deal. You see a lot of these number 1 overall guys. I can go down
Cam
the
had
list.
major flaws. He
Achilles
couldn't
Smith,
throw.
Ryan Leaf. They just don't pan out.
Those guys
you can
weren't
see some of
hyped.
these guys that are hitting
They were
later,
good.
like Drake May, like Michael Penix, like Bo
Ryan
Nix.
Leaf was an
Those are some of
alcoholic
the guys
too,
that you
dude.
can
Drug
definitely
addict.
win in the NFL. Just to come out and say that it's either Caleb Williams or we're screwed. I just don't buy these types of absolutist narratives.
I don't feel like that.
I
I'm just saying we
don't.
need depth talent. We need top 10 tier talent coming to this team. That's all I want.
You can only set yourself up for success. It's like setting a fantasy lineup. No, nobody knows for sure. That's the beauty of the sport.
Correct.
That's why we tune in every week to watch. That's why it's so much fun when these guys who are picked in the 5th to 7th round kill it. Brady is the greatest story in the history of sports because nobody expected it. But that doesn't mean you don't set yourself up for success. Like Peyton Manning is also one of those top 2 picks. There's a million of these guys who went 1. Elway, some of the best players ever were first-round picks. To say because Mahomes was taken 12th, you can't get a Mahomes at 1 is ridiculous. No, the NFL changes, and this kid is a fucking stud. I would do anything for Drake May as well.
So with that being said, Katia, how's people's Survivor guillotine leagues this year? It's been a pretty rough year, huh?
I'm still in my Survivor. I'm not.
Obviously, because who's better than you? No one. But
I'll take that.
With that being said, there are no surefire losses and there are no certain wins this year. So with that being said,
she avoided the pit.
The
pit of those
Skol
two
vibes.
Yep. Killed it.
Oh yeah, you're gonna pick the Vikings this week in Survivor? Fuck outta
No.
here.
All right, we gotta wrap this up.
Huh? Just absolute, just stones if you were to do that.
Balls to the wall.
John, let's hear your score prediction. We know it's gonna be a Vikings win.
Okay, so guys, coming into the year, I looked at the schedule and I saw we played the Chiefs and I saw we played the Niners.
And you circled them.
Both at home.
In my mind, I thought we would beat both at home. Yes, you're right. In my mind, I thought we would beat one of those teams. I just looked at the schedule. I'm like, okay, we're gonna beat one. I went to the Chiefs game.
The
with high
Adderall
hopes,
just kicked in.
thinking we're gonna beat one of them. We lost to the Chiefs. That's done. That dog is fried. Whatever.
Yeah, no,
that's
we can't.
done.
We can't.
However,
we don't have a time machine.
we have an opportunity here against the Niners without JJ, mind you. But the Niners may not have Christian McCaffrey. They may not have Deebo Samuel. They may not have Nick Bosa. Correct? So
True.
Nick
we're looking
Bosa
at a
and
juggernaut
it's Trent
that's
Williams.
only great now, right? They're not amazing. So if we can somehow find a way to keep it tight, I know I just said 10 minutes earlier we're gonna get blown out, but
But you had time
on
to
paper
think.
here we're gonna get blown out. But as a fan, thinking with emotional kind of weirdness, such and such, it's not the craziest thing in the world to think that we play with them and something fluky happens at the end.
Yep. So score no.
I'm gonna say 35.
That Ricky Williams?
20 Niners.
So mean.
35-29ers. You did all of that to say we're gonna lose by 15.
You know,
What
and there's a
happened
caveat. You can come back to and look at this tape if we win, right?
What's the over?
Didn't you just say lose?
We're gonna lose.
But you just did
We're
a whole
gonna
thing
Dude.
about Chiefs and Niners, and we're gonna beat one of them, and we lost to the
Here's
Chiefs.
the thing.
Go get pegged, dude.
I'm looking at you and telling you we're gonna lose,
Yeah,
but don't be surprised.
but
if
you
we
want
win.
credit
And
if
that's
we
what-
win?
That's what makes
Get
it
the fuck
intriguing
out
to
of here. You
watch.
get no
That's
credit.
why you watch Vikings football, and that's why you have that little false glimmer of hope. You know?
Oh my
All
god,
right,
dude.
John. Thank you for that.
I see it being. I don't think we're going to be able to move the ball. So the Niners are coming off an embarrassing loss. They are dinged up. Trent Williams is questionable. CMC is questionable. Debo's always questionable. It honestly doesn't matter if those guys don't play, but I think they're all going to play because they have the long week and they're pissed off and motivated coming off an
Why would they
embarrassing
waste
loss.
it on us though?
Because they need to get back on track.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to get a bye. There's one bye, and it's between them and the Eagles. There's not two byes anymore. So they need to get that one bye. They're tied currently. There's no throwing away wins now. That's such an important piece that
Okay.
the Chiefs had last year, and the Bills and Bengals had to beat each other up. They want that. This is an easy win for them. Primetime Kirk is doesn't. There's a reason he's primetime Kirk. Again, with no JJ.
Different Kirk this year though.
The last 2 weeks they've been bad. I think it's like 28-7 we lose. I don't think our offense is going to
Shit.
be able to move. Maybe, actually, you know what? I'll say 9. I think we get field goals. I don't think we get touchdowns.
Over under's 44.
It's sad.
Yeah.
I'll pick the under.
They're the
You
best.
taking the under?
They're the best team in the league.
44. Yeah.
Yeah, you're taking the under.
Score.
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 I'm gonna go like Niners 32. Well, that's an odd number. We're gonna take it. And I'm gonna go Vikings 21.
I like that.
Okay. I like that.
Okay.
17-13 Vikes.
Hey, he's back.
That's so odd. So you think we're gonna get after Purdy or what? Like,
We're missing.
No, I think we can
Marcus
like.
Davenport.
I think we can be really overlooked right now. I think they have a lot of injuries, like you said. I listened to your speech. I got pumped up, and now I'm like, let's get after them. 17-13 Vikes.
Let's
Skol.
go, Skol.
see,
I don't
this
want
is
the-
weird.
I'm not
I come
tanking
into
anymore.
Watching Vikings games, thinking we're gonna lose logically, but my emotional side is giving me all these reasons to why we can win.
Well, you didn't bet on your
That's
own
where-
team,
that's where
so
I'm at. I'm trying to
we
formulate
had
my
JJ,
opinion with
it's
them, but
different.
You have to understand with this team, you kind of have to behave in that type of way, where you have to think, okay,
Illogically.
we're gonna lose. So you turn on the TV and be like, all right, we're gonna get piss pounded.
Yeah, it's the
But
best.
you start to look at every little positive, and you're
Oh
like,
my
oh my
God.
god, we might win. Oh my god, we might win. Every little play that happens.
now I know
Is
why
that
you watch the
exciting?
games alone at home,
Little-
because you just sit around just edging the whole time.
This is a really, really good time to also say follow us on Vikings Banter on Instagram
do
because
that.
John really takes over the story and you can hear more of this. It's
Yeah.
great.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Marcus Davenport going to the IR sucks. Just losing another pass rush body. They're very good. This is world class talent we're going up against
Can't
on
wait.
prime time, coming off a loss. They're gonna be.
It's going to be a blast.
But look, playing in US Bank is not easy. We've got a fucking rambunctious fandom, and it gets loud in there. And hopefully, it rattles little pussy ass Brock Purdy enough that he makes a couple turnovers. Like that's how you stay in this type of game.
Yep.
Cool.
Skol Vikes over. And out.